I'm Kendall Lahari. In the indoor eventing, the big difference between riding outside and inside, I find, is that we were against the clock rather than going for an optimum time. And going at speed in a small area with really tight turns gets to be quite challenging because you still have to ride carefully, but you still want to, it's against the clock. So you're trying to go as fast as you can, as safely as you can, and give your horse a good ride. So it's a lot for them to take in a very small area. Do you want to add anything to that?
I think that was awesome.
Thank you, Desi. Thank you.
I think it's probably a little more like riding a show jump round. Probably have to be a little more aggressive than the average show jumping round because there's so many spooky fences. For me personally, I didn't know how my horse would react, and I was very pleasantly surprised how brave he was, and would probably change my ride a little bit tonight and go a little more.
Yeah, I agree with Holly. I think it's the horses get a lot. The atmosphere changes the way that you would normally jump those fences if they were out, in the field on cross country. It's a lot more intimidating for them, I think.
I think it's really important. I teach a lot of kids that grow up in the Hunters to get them out and about trail riding, out in the open space, galloping with their friends and getting time in the tack. Because I find a lot of the kids that have grown up in the rings are nervous to be out in open spaces. And I think it's really important for them just to go out and be kids and ride horses and, do things that we all grew up doing, getting on bareback with halter, like just gallivanting around and having fun. And I think that's a big part of eventing is time in the tack.
Yeah, I think it's always a treat to be able to have one horse at the big competitions and really be able to focus on them. Certainly at the events where we're riding multiple horses in a one day, you don't really get the time to prepare, especially for dressage. A lot of our horses, we would do a pre-ride at the Olympic Games and potentially ride them 2 or 3 times before we even get into the ring. And when you have the multiple rides, it's just not possible. Having said that, I also think they enjoy being able to get on and just get loose and relaxed and then head into the ring and have it not be such a big deal. So I think there's pros and cons to both.
Oh, a horse? I like my horses, I really like them to be quick on their feet and be able to think. I find for cross country, you want a horse that can react to a situation very quickly. If you have some of the warm bloods, the problem I think is that they're a little bit slower to think. So if you get into certain situations, they're not always able to get themselves out as well as a thoroughbred. But you're always going against how nice movers the warm bloods are. So I ride the thoroughbreds, but I'm starting to get into more warm bloods. So changing my ride for a warm blood is becoming more of a challenge to learn how to ride that type of horse. But yeah, I like the quicker horses that are maybe a little more challenging for the dressage, but faster thinkers.
Oh wait, who is this sleeping baby? Emma, how are you enjoying the Royal? Are you liking it?
It's awesome.
What's been your favorite exhibit so far?
Horse Junkies United.
How many boyfriends have you met today?
She's waiting for Jacob to arrive.
Jacob actually might be coming here soon.
Might be cradle robbing at this point.
They're just so cute. Aww. I think the biggest thing is when you come to a clinic, you want to be professionally presented. You want to have your hair in a hairnet. You want to have your horse groomed properly and show up ready to learn and ready to participate. And I think other than that, I don't have any pet peeves.
No. I usually feel like you start off with more gymnastic stuff so you can learn how the riders are, and then, the more professional they look, though, the happier you are with the rider, because they put a good effort into it.
Just neatly turned out, like groomed and shirt tucked in.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the people being there? Are you aware of the support? What does that mean to you?
Yeah. This was my first year going to Rolex, and it's kind of overwhelming. Like, there's so many people that are well-wishers, and everyone's really encouraging, and it's really nice to have so many people behind you, and knowing that everyone's watching from home is really exciting.
Yeah, I think it's always incredible being at those big venues and feeling that much support, but whenever you get on your horse, it's just very focused, and I could literally be in my backyard and I don't recognize the people around because you just get so focused on the job that you're doing. But but I will say it's incredible to have that much support around you and everyone cheering you on.
Yeah, I think, for anybody, we can all get frustrated for days and days and days getting stuck on something. And lots of times, personally, if I get off. I'm not joking, because we're not doing ourselves or our horses any good, are we? Tomorrow's a new day, and we all get mental blocks. That's my advice. Get off, change, do something different. Don't keep banging your head against the wall. It's just as frustrating for our horses as it is for us.
Make it fun. Like if you're, thanks, Holly. Yeah, if you're stuck with something, just go have fun and remind yourself why you're riding. Gallop, go for a hack, do something. Play with your horse.
I've been riding with a few people the last few years personally, and actually I rode with Jess a few years ago, and my biggest reason for riding with Jess is I noticed how well she did bringing thoroughbreds along. I've always ridden thoroughbreds, and I always was amazed at how well she brought off the track horses along, and thought it'd be a really good experience to go ride with her. A lot of times too, my fiance trains race horses, so when I'm in Florida I try and be local around to where the rest of our horses are stabled. So I was with John Halling last year because he's around the corner, and I knew him a little bit from previous years, and it worked out. And I think you have to not only watch what kind of riders people are, but how their students are. And I think setting yourself up with someone who's extremely positive is a big thing, and that has a good program, and when you're struggling mentally can be there for you too. Because I think at this level everyone knows how to put their heels down and keep their shoulders back. It's about having someone say the right things at the right times and before you go in the ring.
Well, you want, there's all those things like confirmation, 3 nice gaits, nice walk, nice trot, nice canter. I think temperament is really, really important. I think if you buy something that's, got some mental issues, you kind of, obviously you can work through those, but sometimes,
you appreciate that
like I've learned that a lot buying my horse El Paso. I think temperament is definitely everything. You can get a long way, a lot further with temperament than talent, I think, for the most part.